Here we have verse 25, the 18th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. We're in the midst of the parable that Jesus tells to highlight the stark contrast between the debt that was owed to God and the debt that we may incur toward one another. And he illustrates it by means of a king who brings in a servant, a high official, probably a satrap of one of the provinces, but this man has probably been involved in embezzling and he's been busted. And at this point now the king has evaluated the situation of the man and pronounces the command, which we find here in verse 25. So may, ekontes, not having. Ekontes is a participle. It's the present participle. So he not having. It's a genitive absolute, so autou functions as the subject of the verb. So he, autou, not having. Postpositive da. Apodunai. Apodunai is from apodidemi, means to pay back, to give back, literally. Same word is found down here, the difference between the two. They're both infinitives. This is the active infinitive. Here's the passive infinitive. So here, he doesn't have wherewithal to pay it back. So then the king, ho Kyrios, the Lord, ekelusen, from keluo, I command, he commanded auton, him, the debtor at this point, the direct object in the accusative singular masculine, prothenai. This is from piprosko, based on an underlying verb, prao. It has to do with being sold, but it was used peculiarly in terms of selling someone into some kind of slave status, so it's a more limited word in that sense, kind of a connotation of the word. So the king commanded him to be sold impliedly as a slave, and then just to add insult to injury, kai, connective, tain gunaika, the wife, kai ta tekna, and the children, kai panta, and everything hosa, pronoun, whatever, eke, he has. So it's a complete sale of all of this into the same status. The illustration Jesus gives here would, if it were under Jewish law, not be permitted actually, and in any event there would be a relief from this in the year of Jubilee. Every 50 years, of course, there'd be a release from such indebtedness. But this is apparently an Oriental despot who's making this command. There's no intimation of relief. Some have thought maybe the king never really planned to extort from the man this kind of repayment, but was hoping rather to facilitate repentance. That's being charitable to the king. That may be the case, but we don't have any necessarily strong implication of that, except for the fact that the king does indeed release him, at least temporarily, in the ensuing story. So you can use your own judgment there. Kai apodothenai, same word as here, apodidemi. This is now the aorist passive, and it to be paid would be the idea. So the debt is going to be paid. He didn't have the ability to pay it up here, and so it's going to be extracted from him in terms of the command that is placed upon the man and his situation and his family in connection with this command at this point.